So let's take a look at the revised eye flow here of the new layout that I propose. Really, it's almost the same as the original layout, just some aesthetics have been switched around. We have the entire composition on panel 1 moved up enough so that it occupies more of the upper third of the panel, and we have the claw that's pointed a little bit more dominantly up to panel 2. We still have the same eye flow goodness through these 3 panels. And then in the bottom panel, the direction that the main character is jumping is from left to right, and it also brings your eye flow, and it also keeps the character orientation from panel to panel, such as the tech guy still on the right hand side of the page. Pretty close to the original, not much of a difference, but I think the last panel here benefits the greatest. So here we are to page 7, which is the last page of the portfolio, and it's a pretty strong page. I guess if I were to criticize anything, it's that the storytelling is so straightforward that almost everything is a straight-on shot of each panel. So let's take a look at the eye flow, although there's nothing really tricky here. We go down through these characters, we follow the horizon line down to the lobster, which is now tiny and kind of cute, and then down to the driver who's just exhausted and relieved, out to the main character, and we're out of the page. There's actually nothing wrong with this storytelling, so but let's take a look at what I would suggest, and that is just to try to make some of the dynamics a little varied, I guess. So what I did was I increased the size of the lobster, and I positioned the characters a little bit differently, bringing them a little bit closer to the camera. And then in the third panel here, I changed the angle of the driver so that we're not looking at him straight on. So let's take a look at the eye flow for the page that I suggest. It's pretty much the same, but whenever we get down here to panel 3, I think that with the direction of the top of the window of the car and the downward turned face of the driver, it does lead you to this final panel a little bit cleaner. But to be honest, how this originally looks is still pretty good. I would just say that we need a little bit more of an impact in this first panel. So this is pretty much the wrap-up. I think that Nick Brok has done a really good job. This portfolio is actually pretty strong. His fundamental or foundational drawing skills I think are very strong, and his use of spot blacks and textures are also very they're compelling, actually, especially in the texture of the lobster. Some of his storytelling stuff is what maybe he would get picked on by an editor, but that's the kind of thing that you just have to figure out as you go from experience and looking at artists perhaps like I think Mike Mignola and Frank Miller are fantastic with storytelling. They are really good artists to look at. So I would definitely encourage Nick to keep working on the storytelling stuff, but keep doing what he's doing on the spot blacks and the texture stuff, because it's actually pretty compelling stuff. So I guess that's pretty much it, and don't forget to visit freddyart.com for other tutorials and Digi-Art quick tool downloads. And thanks a lot, Nick, for participating in the Comic Geek Speak digital art contest and for allowing me to put this portfolio review on YouTube.